Hello, people. This is Detroit Miracle. Yes, and indeed. Let me make this such discussion right now about the majority of numbers or majority in numbers. Look at everything involving accumulations of numbers in which add up to a great sum. Look at lottery jackpots, mega lottery jackpots. Yeah, if you could believe that people frequently hit those such high number jackpots, then if that's the case, then anybody can become a multi-millionaire with tens of millions or hundreds of millions of dollars just like that. It can happen with the lottery. Like one minute you might be counting change in your pocket, like trying to scrape up to get a cake from the store or a bag of chips or something with a pop. Then you remember playing this number and then look at the lottery number and you just won $700 million. Even if you take half now and pay, whatever taxes on it, you still good. I'm not turning this into a lottery discussion, not a pure lottery discussion, but when you think of those vastly sums of millions of dollars, which are accumulated of majorities, like meaning the majority of greater numbers are together and have decided, so they add up to whatever sum it does. Might be a few hundred million, might be 800 million, might be a billion something. The people would be inclined to go out and play those such numbers then as many times and as much as they possibly can. Tactical. Yeah, but the majority of numbers work that way with just about anything. Like the greater numbers, the greater sums, like the greater sized countries, the greater populations in countries, the greater masses of waters in those countries. Some would say, yeah, waters do seem important. Look, waters mean a whole lot. They are very, very important. When you think about them, you can use waters or huge bodies of waters in so many ways, such as for travel purposes, for fishing, for boating, for water skiing, for swimming, for underwater diving, as many ways as you can use it for. So the more water you got, the more you can go with that, in those ways. You'll have much, much bigger territory of waters to fish in, bathe in, hunt in, water ski in, boat in, dive in, swim in. It worked like that. So, the greater numbers work that way of abundance as well in terms of sizes of things. And we refer to water as water and waters. And you might be out looking over the Pacific waters or the Pacific oceans out west, and you might be like, wow, this is a nice size amount of water. You'll be looking at it like it's something in a drinking glass that, yeah, this is a nice sum. But it's actually waters. If you add up all the ounces, milliliters, centimeters, kilometers of it, it's a large amount of it. So yeah, so people, if you want to know the true sizes and comprehend the true sizes and significance of things, you only have to accumulate it entirely, like to the sum total. That's if you are interested in obtaining those particulars concerning. Yeah, folks, you can do that. The greater numbers or anything, hey, even the greater numbers of socialites, how many people are socialites, to get out on the town, do it, socialize, visit. It has to be tens of millions of such people that do it in this country. Do you agree or disagree with those number estimates? If you figure people, then you average them out, then indicate the total population numbers, and figuratively speaking, a lot of people are going to fall under different major categories abundantly. Like just say where millions are in agreement here, millions are in agreement here, millions are in agreement there, millions are in agreement there, millions are in agreement there. Then, you find those amongst all those different categories that they are in agreement of, you'll find that some are in disagreement in ways. So that makes it divided. Like, like it's different than it's structured out. Like it's different organizations where all of them are not together or friendly towards one another, but many are friendly, or they are neutral or friendly, or don't have problems with many of them. You watch somebody like that, seems like they are drawn to trouble, confliction, things like that, and you watch how unhappy their messages is, how they are infuriated, they're not happy with what they're saying, it's angering them. So why even focus that much attention on someone that would make you that mad in terms of that? When you have to make videos about them, and then you upset making those videos and you keep doing that, then it's a lot of negative energy thrown out there that you shouldn't. Sometimes you'll make somebody popular, Paramount size, Epic, 20th Century Fox, Disney, Universal, and the rest. You'll make them that big by projecting that much negative energy out at them. Yeah, sky's the limits. Especially if you are popular enough, and then you're giving them your popularity and increasing their own that way. I mean, specifically podcasters out there that I watch doing their shows on YouTube, and they tend to go after other YouTubers, like in YouTube wars and stuff. It's like it goes back and forth, or either like they just ignore her, they don't publicly address it like that. So it's like she's giving them the energy, the accolades, but they're not showing it to her that way. And she hates that they're not calling her names openly and stuff. Then it's like it works like that with some, different types of YouTubers. I remember a couple of years back, or a few years back or so, I remember the True Freeman, Tommy Sotomayor war. They was having a major war conflict on the air. It was crazy. I had never seen anything like that on social media. And then one of the guys mixed up in the conflict, turns out he has a lot of guns, like, military tech stuff, like, rifles and stuff. And he talks crazy anyway. But apparently this guy has a gun license, so that makes it funny the way he's doing that. Like showing it off like that, tough man act. He was the guy, the principal antagonist and instigator in the whole beef between True Freeman and Tommy Sotomayor. But it was True Freeman, but it was a major war. Like both of them had gained fame, but it seemed like True Freeman would pick with them in ways, and that wasn't cool. So then, these particular podcasters have a lot of subscribers. So all those numbers are in like if you have 500,000, 1 million people watching your channel, even if you have like 100,000 people or 50,000 people or 30,000 or 15,000, that's still a lot of people. It's thousands of them. But if you have hundreds of thousands tuning in religiously, then that's a major impact there. You're getting major attention and major focus on you. So a lot of the podcasters had that type of power, that type of, support. They had that type of substantial support with the many followers they have. And some of them, being the podcasters or YouTubers, are friendlier enough. They shy away from conflicts or whatnot, but still they care, and when something major happens, they address the issue. Yeah, they address the very thing, the very problem of it in their own ways. But people are consolidated like that through social media. The majority of numbers increased certainly applies to that too, social media. Like if you look at all those independent podcasters or YouTubers with substantial numbers that indicate that they have a business going on with those substantial amounts of people in which they make money off of. That's their businesses. With social media, when social media blew up like it did, it made more business owners, people with their own personal businesses, and those channels are their businesses. And people show people a lot of support, like from from the perspective of they want to show them support, but they don't show others support. It might be based on how if they wear their beard too buffy, if they're showing like bits of gray in their hair, they'll say, "Oh, he's not young enough for me." So it's like people won't support people for trivial reasons. Like, people are people that way. Yeah, but the majority of numbers is key. Like whatever is in the majority of numbers together, it might be trillions, it might be billions, it might be millions, it might be hundreds of thousands, it might be thousands, it might be hundreds. Those are significant numbers. Like, even when you stop at hundreds, that's a major assembly. Like if you got hundreds in your committee, in your club, in your group, then that's a substantial amount of people. Better believe it. Yeah. Well, I know you all are bored with the lesson, so I'll cut it short right now. Hey, and I appreciate it if you give me those likes, comments, and please subscribe to me, Detroit Miracle.